Thank you for joining us today. Welcome. Travel Bulletin is happy to be back with you all, presenting another virtual training session, focused this time on the luxury holidays market. I'm happy to say that we are being joined today by 4 amazing supplier partners. They're all really keen to give you an update in terms of what they've been doing and their latest news. We have Karen from Hummingbird Travel. We have Nicola from Jumeirah Hotels and Resorts. We have Marta from Visit Formentera. And we have Courtney from the Turks and Caicos Islands. So are we all there? Can you all make yourself visible? Everyone good? First of all, I'll start because no one knows who should jump in and who to therefore talk over everyone else. So I'll go around you according to the way I see you on my screen, which may be different to what everyone else sees. Nicola, tell me how you are. How has your day been so far?
Yes, it's been busy today, but I'm delighted to be here and share with you all things about Jumeirah.
Good. Okay. Marta, you're muted currently, so unmute yourself before replying. Otherwise, that will go wrong. Tell me, what has your day been, and are you excited to be out there training?
Hello, I'm very excited to be here today and explain you more about my favorite island in the Balearic Islands, Formentera. So yeah, good to see everyone. Okay,
fantastic. The last time I saw Courtney, he was running for a train. So very good to see you, Courtney. Are you, in fact, I'm going to do something which I wouldn't normally do. I'm going to get slightly personal here. Did you have a wonderful time with your mum? Because the last time I saw you were going over to spend her birthday with her.
I did. I was in Turks for a short weekend of 5 days. So we had a great time. It was her 70th. And she's quite happy to have both her kids and her grandkids around. So we were all happy. It was just too short of a stay to go to Turks from the UK for 4 days. But, you know, I'm a mama's boy. So I make it happen.
Well, good for you and well done for doing it. And last but by no means least, Karen, how is your day so far? Apart from avoiding calls from Thomas, by the sounds of it.
Hi Simon, yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, having a really good week, and today's been fine. Excited to be back again for another virtual event with you guys.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm gonna just explain to everyone how this is going to work. It's really very simple. I know a lot of you have done these with us before, and wonderful agents will be there expecting the same thing again. So that's good. Each of our wonderful presenters is going to deliver a live 10-minute presentation. That'll be followed by their own individual Q&A session. I do need your help, agents. So when, whether it's Nicola talking or Karen talking or Marta or Courtney, when they're giving their presentation, do think about the agents, sorry, not the agents, do think about the customers that you have. Think about what they might want to know, whether it's anything to do with a particular sort of transfers, or whether they have a particular special need, or whether there's anything that they would want to know in terms of gastronomy or anything like that, and ask me those questions. Please, please, please use the Q&A function. The chat function I can't keep sort of tabs with at the same time. I'm not, you know, I'm a bloke. I'm I don't do it. So it just doesn't work for me. Q&A function only, please. Put your questions on there. And then when Courtney finishes his presentation, I can ask him something really awkward that you asked me, and we'll catch him out. So that's the idea. You give me the questions, I'll fire them across. Hopefully it helps your customers when they've got questions that they ask you. So the better you know the product, the better you are able to sell it. So some of the presenters will then announce details of their competition prize they're offering and their question at the end of their training sessions. All of the answers for the competitions will be sort of accessed via our website, which is travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. The deadline to win today's prizes will be Monday, September the 6th at 4 p.m. And for those of you who want to know what I'll be doing at 4 p.m. on Monday the 6th, I'll be in Liverpool getting ready to start our North America event. So if you're up in the Northwest at the moment and you've not signed up to that event, get onto our website now and come and see us at 6 in the evening in Liverpool. Anyway, Up for grabs today, we have 2 bottles of champagne, a £50 shopping voucher, and we also have a £30 Amazon voucher. So good luck to everyone taking part. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to ask everyone except Karen to mute themselves and turn their cameras off so that we can get started. Okay, Karen, we can't wait to learn more. So please take it away, Karen, and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Thank you. Thanks, Simon. And also thank you for everybody tuning in today. I'll go ahead and share my screen so everyone can see the presentation. I will also stop my video just so then the connection goes perfectly. Oh, I'm getting a message saying host disabled participant screen sharing. Oh dear.
Just so that you don't feel alone, I've come back on.
Okay.
I'm sure Ash has got it all under control. Is it all good? Someone tell me.
Oh yeah, perfect, got it.
Okay, good. I'll see you soon.
All right, thank you. Great, so yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm Karen, Marketing Manager from Hummingbird Travel. Some of you may already know us, you may already be working with us, but some of you might not be so familiar. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick overview of who we are, what we do, and I'll go ahead and present the atmosphere properties and also Cora in the Maldives. So Indian Ocean is our sort of field. We're in DMC for 4 destinations: the Maldives, Sri Lanka, Seychelles and Mauritius. We've got 4 offices across our destinations. So we've got UK office. I'm based in the UK. We've got our team in Maldives, Sri Lanka and also Seychelles. So we have our own reservations team across all the destinations, our own ground handling team. We do our own excursions, tour guides, vehicles, everything. So we handle everything from our side. And it's good to have someone on the ground to look after your guests and to do a meet and greet as well. We offer a very personalised service and we're very proud of the way we work. We're very flexible as well. So when you have an inquiry, do come through to us and we'll put you through to a dedicated account manager. So from start to finish, you'll be looked after just by one of our reservations team. We also have a luxury division who looks after all the VIPs as well. So if you have complex inquiries for high net worth clients, come through to us and we'll put you through to the luxury division. We have our own Hummingbird exclusive amenities. So this could be an early check-in, a late checkout, a complimentary spa treatment or an excursion, anything to help you close the booking. We can negotiate with the hotels and basically help you close any booking. So because we've been operating in the Maldives for over 30 years, we have a very good relationship with all the resorts that we sell. So we always go above and beyond to help you close any booking. All of our offices are pretty much open every day of the year. So an advantage of having different offices across different destinations is that we can cover each other. So there's no day in the year that an email will go unanswered. So for example, if we're having our Christmas and New Year break, our team in Mali will be working as normal every day. We spend a lot of time visiting our destinations. Obviously not in the last year, but we are sort of coming back around to getting our trips in and going to visiting the resorts and experiencing them firsthand. So we see the new properties as well as the old ones, just to make sure, our knowledge is always up to date. And the suggestions that we give to you are all very impartial and very honest. And also they are the best suggestion that is the most fitting to your clients. And in terms of Sri Lanka and Seychelles, all our itineraries are tailor-made and they're only tailor-made for your clients. So no 2 itineraries will be the same and they are tailor-made according to the needs and requirements of your clients. And especially for Sri Lanka, we always try and do something different to what other tour operators or other DMC offer. We always sort of try and find different routes, different times of the day where national parks might be less crowded. So we always try to do something a bit different and offer something unique. And of course, we're very, very experienced in dealing with high net worth individuals. So if you have any complex inquiries, definitely come through to us. We never say no to anything. We also have our online booking engine, so a very, very straightforward online portal. We simply give you a login and you can just access and you can see all the hotels that we sell across all the destinations. So you can see what's available, what offers are loaded on there. Everything is loaded onto the system, so very straightforward. All the rates are 20% below bar rates, so typically that should give you around 10 to 15%. Which makes us very, very competitive. All the special offers are loaded on there directly. So if you are someone like me who's very, very bad at maths, it does all the calculations and breakdown for you. So all you need to do is take that total, add on your own commission and send it over to your clients. And like I said, if the room is available, which it will tell you on the system, you can book directly. So an advantage of having access to this system is that if you are someone who's quite familiar with the destination or with the product itself, you can simply just go online and run the search and book the room directly. And you should receive a confirmation and invoice within 24 hours. So it's very, very straightforward, very easy to use. Again, like I said, we're very flexible. So if you would prefer to come through to us, chat to us, drop us an email, call us, and we can give you our suggestions and we can do it that way as well. We also have all up-to-date resort images and fact sheets. So if you need any extra marketing tool for your marketing and adverts, just come through to us and we'll provide them. Quickly running through the transfers in the Maldives. So 3 main modes of transfer. So we've got the speedboat. This will be for the resorts that are close by to the airport. So if you have, the North and South Mali atolls, you can get there pretty easily by a speedboat. Advantage of this is it runs pretty much 24 hours a day. So if you have a client that is arriving at 3 o'clock in the morning, they won't be stranded at the airport. They will still be picked up and transferred directly to the hotel. Then you've got the Seaplane. This is a really unique experience. A lot of our clients really love it. So these are for the atolls that are slightly further away. The only sort of downside is that it only operates during daylight hours. So anything up to international arrival at 3 p.m. So if you have a client that is arriving after that, they will either have to take a domestic flight or maybe stay somewhere either close by to the airport or stay locally in one of the guest houses or hotels. And lastly, we've got domestic flights. So these are for the outer islands. They are further away. Advantage of this is a bigger aircraft. It's got AC, so it's slightly a little bit more comfortable than the Seaplane. I do think it's quite a good experience in itself. So that is Hummingbird in a nutshell, and I will now go ahead and present the atmosphere properties. So first up, we've got Oblu Herengeli. So this is a 5-star all-inclusive hotel. It's very, very family friendly. It is located in North Mali Atoll, so very convenient. It's just a speedboat right away from Mali Airport. Like I said, it's very good family friendly, and the USP of this hotel, I would say, is the house reef. It's got a fantastic house reef, directly accessible from the beach, and it's got really, really great diving spots nearby as well. So if you've got any clients that are really keen to do lots of diving or snorkeling whilst they're holidaying, this is a really good option. Couple of images. So yes, it's kind of a medium-sized island, as you can see, really lush in vegetation, and it's got a really good house reef surrounding the island. Then we've got Oblu Select Sangeli. So this sits just under Herengeli, so it's a 4-star. Again, it's an all-inclusive property, really fantastic. Really good for families and also honeymooners. It's actually spread across 2 islands and is connected by a bridge. And I would say the culinary options are a USP, definitely. It's got really fantastic restaurants. It's got 4 restaurants to choose from. And with that all-inclusive concept, there's always an option for every evening. So yeah, just a couple of images of the villas and also the restaurant. Again, really kind of traditional Maldivian feel, lots of open air, spacious villas. Next, we've got Atmosphere Kanifuchi. So this is a 5-star resort. It's located a little bit further away in Laviani Atoll. So it's a seaplane right away from the airport. So again, it's a really good family-friendly option. Again, also good for honeymooners. It is an all-inclusive as well. One of the USP is that it offers one of the only few vegetarian fine dining restaurants. It's called Veg. So again, really, really great culinary options. And recently they've also done renovations and added new water villa into inventories as well. And a couple of other pictures here. So again, it's got a really good stretch of beach, a really large sandbank, and there's a medium size. Moving on to Varro by Atmosphere. So I would say this is kind of an entry level 5-star. Again, all inclusive. It is located in Mali Atoll, so it's very convenient to get to, just a speedboat right away. I actually was there when they opened, which is towards the end of 2019. A really lovely resort. It's very straightforward, very sort of hassle-free, all-inclusive, and very family-friendly as well. One of the USP, I would say, just from my experience, their bar called Burj, in the evening it has a really lovely atmosphere. It's very sociable, and it's a really good sort of hangout spot, maybe after dinner or maybe even at sunset time. Grab a cocktail and enjoy the live music. We've got a really, really lovely live band. There's a couple of pictures. So like I said, very kind of simple design villas, very spacious and also very light. And moving on to Ozen, so this is kind of moving up a bit in terms of, it's a little bit more luxury, so it's a 5-star. It's located in South Mali Atoll, so it's easily reached from the airport. So it's, again, all-inclusive, really good for families, and one of the standout features is that they have an underwater restaurant called M6M, so it's located 6 meters beneath the water, so as you can see at the top right image there. Really unique experiences. I think a lot of people love going there for lunch and also in the evening for dinner and maybe some drinks as well. And sometimes they have various themed nights. It could be a disco, it could be a cocktail party in the evening under the water. So that's something a little bit special. Again, yeah, it's quite a big size island, really good for families, really good for honeymooners. I will wrap up very quickly. The last of the Atmosphere properties, we've got Bolifushi. So this is the top of the range of the Atmosphere properties. It used to be Jumeirah, and now it's taken over by Atmosphere properties. It's called the Reserve Bolifushi. So as you can see in the picture, it has remained relatively the same as what it was before. Some of the villas come with slide, as you can see. It's very sort of luxurious, and the USP for this would be they have the first ice skating rink in the Maldives and a really, really good kids club. So again, really family friendly. Couple of images there for you. And lastly, Cora Maldives. So this is set to open on the 1st of October this year. So really exciting opening. Again, all-inclusive option with contemporary and modern accommodation. So it's located in Varro Atoll, so there's a seaplane right away. It's a lovely atoll in terms of, it's one of the deepest atolls. So snorkeling and marine life is really, really excellent. So again, if you've got clients that are really looking for diving and snorkeling during the holidays, this is a really, really good option, really generous concept. And the villas are very spacious and very modern and contemporary. And that is me. Thank you very much for everybody listening in today. Question time, Simon?
Okay, you come back, Karen, because I've got a couple of I've got a couple of questions. So, well, I've got a number of questions. We're going to fire them through them really quickly. So, Ushma asks, how far in advance can you accept bookings? So what she's basically asking is, if you don't have pricing for, say, I don't know, November 23 or something like that, can you commit to something that you're prepared to give a guarantee with?
Yeah, so we actually have a lot of forward bookings. Obviously, with COVID times, everybody wants a certain, guarantee in terms of the holiday, and we don't take any deposit. So we definitely we do take forward bookings. We're getting inquiries up to 25, which is a little bit crazy. But definitely, if we don't have the rates so far, we'll get it from the resort, and we take payments much later. Was their arrival date. So definitely put something in, and always good to have something in the diary.
It sounds like an all win-win. Now I've got two people, Cheryl Johnson and Jacqueline Brady, both asking effectively the same question, I think. Gerald Johnson and Christine Etheridge, sorry, asking, effectively, are you ATOL protected? Can you offer anything outside of the accommodation and transfer and everything else package? Can you offer anything that includes flights as well?
We do them on an ad hoc basis. So we do work with tour operators that can source flights with us. But typically we are a DMC, so we only do accommodation and local transfers. So international flights is kind of on an ad hoc basis, but we don't say no, so.
Okay, so that's a sort of yes and no, but from an ATOL protection point of view, you would rather someone did it somewhere else, or?
Yeah, so with the sort of tour operators that we work with for flights,
okay,
they are ATOL protected.
But use you if people are going to look at getting their own flights, or they want some sort of parity or something like that, then the agent will be able to get an edge with you that the consumer won't.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, there's the win. In terms of right, I can't read my own writing now. Oh yes, Christine Etheridge also asks, how does she register to become part of your booking engine or whatever?
Yeah, so just send me an email and I'll do a follow-up email after today. Then you'll get my contact, just let me know.
Okay, now I've got a couple more I'm going to run through really quickly. So she's also, Christine also says she's got someone looking to book Kanafushi for next September, which is great. I've got Matthew Morgan asking, you're going to have to give me two options really quickly off the top of your head. Which hotel offers the best all-inclusive value package?
I would say Helengeli and also Kanafushi.
Okay, great. Okay, and Rosemary Phillips Robinson asks, she's got a client looking to go to the Maldives in January. What happens if Maldives are still on the red list 8 weeks before departure? Do they get a refund? How does it work from that point of view? Be as brief as you can, because I've got to move on.
Okay, so a lot of the hotels are very, very flexible in terms of their cancellation policy or amendments. So definitely just let us know in advance if they can or cannot travel. If it's down to the travel restrictions in the UK, then they can move their booking to another date.
Okay, that's great. Thank you ever so much for that, Karen. That's fantastic. We're going to now move on to the next part of what we do, which is you telling us a little bit about. We're going to please share with us your competition prize and your question. Agents, get your pens and pads ready, as you'll need to enter via the TV website, travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. Karen, fire away with your prize details and your question, please.
Great. So the prize is a bottle of champagne, and the question is how many bottles of champagnes are included in the Ozen all-inclusive plan? And I've now just realized, because I had to rush through my presentation, I didn't actually mention it.
Okay.
Should I just quickly say now?
If you don't mind giving the answer, then
I mean, I don't mind.
You tell us why.
It is a very generous 3 bottles.
Okay, so there are 3 champagnes included in the Ozen all-inclusive plan, which is great. Thank you very much, Karen, and thank you for that great training session. We'll see you again at the end of the training. Thank you. Right, if you like to mute and turn off your camera, that would be great. It's now time to meet our second presenter, Nicola Johnson, the Global Director of Business Development, Leisure in the UK, Ireland and Scandinavia for Jumeirah Hotels and Resorts. My goodness, Nicola, that's a mouthful I've got to get out there. That was do you say that to everyone?
No, I do shorten it, but you did well. So thanks for the introduction, Simon. I really appreciate it.
No, well, that's good. We're all waiting to find out more. I'm really looking forward to this, because I haven't heard anything about Jumeirah for a long time. So please share your screen, and then we will be off and running, and I'll see you at the end.
Perfect. That's great. Thanks, Simon. So as we have 10 minutes, this is going to be a short and sweet presentation. So let me start off by saying, with regards to Jumeirah, health and well-being is at the core of everything we do. So you'll see here there is a list of things that we are doing in the hotels now to ensure that guests are well looked after. Their health and safety is paramount. And just to touch on one of the key kind of selling points when you are booking Jumeirah hotels and resorts, not just in the UAE but globally, is that we do have flexible cancellation policy. So this really relates to any of the COVID restrictions that you might have. So if a country moves from, say, amber to red, if a guest tests positive on their PCR test, or their flight cancels or changes, we have very flexible cancellations to protect your clients. So they can cancel free of charge, obviously with proof of their positive PCR test or their flight changing. We keep in contact or up to date on all the travel regulations, but that gives you some clarity and some confidence when you are booking any of our Jumeirah properties in the portfolio. What we are in at the moment with our UAE properties is in campaign period. So we have our Better with Jumeirah campaigns. We've got some fantastic offers out there for you. So if you're booking, making any bookings now to the end of September for travel now until early January 2023, frightening that we're thinking that far ahead, but I know we all are. But we have some amazing offers. So in Dubai, we've got discounted rates plus added values. And also in Abu Dhabi, we have up to 20% discount on the rates, complimentary half board, and also kids stay free offer. So contact your preferred partner for more details on the special offers there as well. So just to touch base on the hotels, to give you a brief overview. So I'm going to start off on the Island of Happiness, which is the Sadia Island. So Sadia Island in Arabic means Island of Happiness. So I'm going to whisk you over to there. And this is one of our newer hotels. It was opened in November 2018, and it's on a beachfront location. It's absolutely stunning. This hotel was actually one of the first Jumeirah properties to eliminate all single-use plastic. So when you arrive at the hotel, you are given your personalised water bottle, and there's water filling stations in and around the resort for you to fill your own water bottle. So we've removed plastic straws. In the rooms, for example, we have reusable amenities. So it's really honed in on the sustainability and eco-friendliness of the hotel. And one of the big reasons for that is that we have a natural beach where we're located, and we actually have turtles that come and nest and lay their eggs just in front of the beach. It is a protected area, and for that reason we want to make sure that our footprint on the local area is very small. Also, something to highlight, which we've seen as a trend, is villas. Villa properties are coming forward. So at this particular property, we do have 8 duplex villas with private pools, and we're also in the process of opening another 3 as well. So with regards to Abu Dhabi, the news is updating on a regular basis, and I've just heard from my colleagues that guests travelling to Abu Dhabi will just need to be vaccinated. So there's no need for quarantine in the destination. So this is a great news for this particular property and also the destination. As with all of our properties, we do have our own health and safety programme, but the Go Safe certificate has been awarded to this particular hotel by the Abu Dhabi Tourist Board. So we're really excited about that as well. And with the time that we had the hotel closed over the pandemic, we have refreshed our Kids and Teens Club. We've also refreshed some areas in our spa. And as I mentioned earlier, at the moment we have 8 villas, which are 2, 3, 4 bedroom, and we also have another 3 coming up, which will be 2 and 5 bedroom. Moving on to Burj Al Arab, Jumeirah, which is in Dubai and one of the icons across the skyline, as you know, for Dubai, and often voted the world's most luxurious hotel. This is kind of the pinnacle of our brand. Being voted the world's most luxurious hotel, what is key to note is that the rooms do reflect that. They're very deep in colour, lots of royal colours that you can see here. But this hotel doesn't house any rooms. They're all suites. So they're duplex suites, and they're starting at 170 square metres. So this would be great for a full stay, or if you wanted to kind of highlight this during a twin centre stay in the destination. So maybe a few nights at another hotel, and then maybe finishing with your night at Burj Al Arab just to really experience it. Across all of our hotels, we do create unforgettable culinary experiences, and you can just see a taste of the restaurants that we have here with fantastic views out over the Arabian Gulf there as well. What is new is the terrace. This was actually constructed in Finland and transported all the way around and put on the back of the Burj, and this gives an amazing day experience for guests staying at the Burj. If you've got any guests that are staying outside of the hotel, you can pre-book one of our cabanas. So this gives clients access to the terrace who may not be staying at the Burj. It's a great day experience. It's something different to do in the destination. In terms of the restaurant dining experiences, we have Sal, which is a new pop-up beach experience on the terrace. And I'd always recommend pre-booking this to get you access into the restaurant. We are limited with the number of tables that we do have here, but do look at pre-booking this for your guests to experience something new and fresh in Dubai, and particularly within Burj Al Arab. Moving on to another icon, we have Jumeirah Beach Hotel, which was recently renovated. And as you can see from the map here, it's part of a bigger collection of hotels on the Arabian Gulf. So if you look at the screen here to the right, you'll see where Jumeirah Beach Hotel is, and then you also have the Beit Al Bahar Villas, which are located here. The rooms were renovated, as I mentioned, so they're very fresh and modern in style. A point to note for families, this is a really good option for luxury family stays. You have the Ocean Deluxe room. You can just see by the window, you have these 2 wardrobes, and they're actually beds that come down. So these are Murphy beds, so they give your families a real bed instead of a rollaway, and housekeeping will come in the evening and pop them down and then also pop them back up in the morning, so you've still got your living experience within the hotel. We've also got a range of suites, and as you can see, wherever you are in the hotel, you've got these floor-to-ceiling windows which give you fantastic views out over the Arabian Gulf and Burj Al Arab. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the royal villas, or villas in particular, are very popular. So within Jumeirah Beach Hotel, we have 19 luxurious villas, and they are 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, and they come with a range of benefits there. So these are great for people that want the facilities of Jumeirah Beach Hotel, but still be secluded and away from the hustle and bustle of the hotel. So they all come with their own private plunge pool. There's also an executive club lounge area which guests would have access, who are staying at the villa, access to this pool as well. A point to note, with all of the hotels in the collection, we have unlimited direct access to Wildwoody Water Park. So there's over 30 rides in here, and this gives you a saving of about £100 per person. What is also key to note is that with our hotels within the collection of Jumeirah in Dubai, we have an amazing half-board dine-around program which offers over 20 restaurants on this program. So it's something to consider when you're booking Jumeirah hotels and resorts. Moving on to Madinat Jumeirah. So looking back at the map, this is this area that you can see in the middle of the screen. So you have Jumeirah Al Nasim, Mina Al Salam, then you have Al Casa, and then dotted around the rest of the resort, you have the Dar Massif summer houses. So the first hotel, I'm going to talk about really the difference between the hotels and which customer you would kind of accommodate at each part of the hotel. So with Jumeirah Al Nasim, it's the newest hotel. Al Nasim means sea breeze in Arabic, so very fresh, modern. You've got these beautiful windows that open up and let that beautiful sea breeze in, but it's very contemporary and very modern. You have Jumeirah Al Casa, which was built on the Sheikh's summer palace. So very grand, very opulent, but very Arabic in style, as you can see here in the intricate details of the rooms. And then if you're looking for something more suited to families, then we would recommend Jumeirah Mina Al Salam, which is the original part of Madinat Jumeirah. We have refreshed the rooms, which will be open as of October, but as you can see, still Arabic in style, but much more muted colours in comparison. If you're looking for something a bit more boutique and secluded, then I really would recommend the Dar Massif summer houses. So each summer house houses between 8 and 9 rooms and suites. These can be privatised if you're travelling as a multi-generational booking or a large group, but these are secluded and private. So for 3 summer houses, you have access to 1 pool, so much more secluded and boutique. And what is popular with these particular summer houses is that we have the happy hour on a daily basis. So guests can have it in their room, in the main lobby area within the summer house, or in the courtyard. Again, the villa product is of a high standard. It's not as popular, these villas aren't as popular compared to our other villas because they are very Arabic in style, but they are 2 and 3 bedroom and they're private. So you have private access into the souk, into the beach, and also to the abras that will sail around the resort, have their own private swimming pool as well as the butler service that you'd expect as well. So something to consider for your high profile clients, celebrities, or people that want something a bit more off the beaten track. Moving on to the last hotel within the collection, which is Jumeirah Zabil Sarai, and is a leading price point for our beach properties. What is great about this property is it's located on the western crescent of Palm. So this is really good for a kind of fly and flop experience. If you've got clients that have been to Dubai before, or maybe this is a secondary holiday, they just want to kind of have a beach experience, then this works really well because you are on the Palm, so you wouldn't need to necessarily kind of travel back onto Jumeirah Beach Hotel or into the city. With the style of the hotel, it is very grand and very luxurious. And a key fact for you here is that this has more gold leaf than Burj Al Arab Jumeirah, which I know some of you might find hard to believe, but it is absolutely stunning and opulent. The room decor here is very Arabic, and you can see it's much more darker in the colours that you see here. But what it is great for is your families as well as your couples. So for families, we have the superior family rooms, which come with the 2 beds that you can see here. And all the bathrooms are the same, so that this rich marble, which comes from Turkey to give that the Turkish Ottoman experience. What's also key to note is that we have the 4 and 5 bedroom residences. So they're located to one end of the hotel, but they still have all the use of the facilities within the hotel. So these are the 4 bedroom, which are located to the lagoon. And then you have the private seafront royal residences, which come with their own private pool. So great for your multi-generational bookings, larger groups, families, or anybody who's looking for a bit more of a villa experience and much more private and secluded. Just a point, obviously I mentioned this is a great kind of fly and flop experience. So as I mentioned earlier, you have the full dine around program across all of the Jumeirah properties in Dubai. But if you were just considering to stay at the hotel, then you have 9 restaurants and lounges just within this one hotel. A key to point, if you've got anybody that's really into their Indian cuisine, Amala is a fantastic restaurant, and I think it's voted in number 2 position on TripAdvisor for the best Indian restaurant in Dubai. So if you're not staying at the hotel and you've got clients in the destination, definitely try and book a table at Amala for your guests. Key point to note is that we are constantly expanding, and the next hotel that we're going to open is going to be in Oman, and it's going to be Jumeirah Muscat Bay, which is going to open up in December this year. So this is a great kind of opportunity for us to expand into a new destination, but something for you to consider in the next few months. So we're going to be opening Jumeirah Muscat Bay, Oman at the end of this year. So it's going to be on the same concept of our properties. We're going to have luxurious summer houses similar to those at Darmasif, but much more contemporary and modern. And it's going to cater for both families and couples and adults. Finally, as I've just downloaded a lot of information to you, we do have our online training program, which is jumeirahbeacon.com. So this is where you can learn much more about Jumeirah, more than I can tell you in 10 minutes, but it's also where you have access to our industry rates for your own stay. So I know we'll all be thinking about our next holidays. So if you do want to come and stay at any of our properties, then do sign up to Jumeirah Beacons. Not only do you learn more, but you can also look at your own stays for the future. And that is the end of the presentation.
Fantastic, Nicola. Thank you ever so much for that. I don't know how you did it because you ran through so much there. You must be exhausted, but I'm ready with some questions for you. We're going to have to be quick because, as always, you had lots to get across and our time is short. But here we go. We'll go through them as quickly as possible. I've got Uzma's asked a couple of questions. She's got some potential clients, 2 adults, 2 children, half term. I'm taking it's half term in October. In terms of the hotels, are there any particular that you would recommend that have good interconnecting options, or do they all have them?
They all have interconnecting options, but the challenge we have with Jumeirah is that we never guarantee them at the time of reservation. It's always subject to availability on arrival. But what I would suggest is maybe looking at Jumeirah Beach Hotel, because we have more interconnecting options available there as well. So I'd probably recommend that, and you've got great kids club there. And also you've got access to the Wild Body Water Park, which is a firm favourite for the families, not just the kids, but also the adults.
I was going to say that interests me, actually. I love water parks. I think they're the most fun things in the world. But anyway, I've got another question on that. Nicola Graham asks, is it just for the Jumeirah Beach that's appropriate in terms of Wild Body, and is it that therefore every person that stays in the party that gets access, or is it relevant to any of the other properties as well?
Yep, so with regards to Wildwood Water Park, if you're staying at any of the Jumeirah properties in Dubai, you have complimentary access to Wildwood, and it's to all guests staying at the hotel. So it's adults and children, and you're looking about saving of £100 per family. And you can go as many times as you want throughout your stay.
Okay, so that's stay in the Wildwood Water Park for the whole 5 days you're there or whatever. That would be me, right? I'd come out looking like a prune. Great. I've got Nikki Mollusco has asked, Friday brunches, are they operating yet?
They are operating, but I would check with the hotel on how they have changed, because, for example, the buffets have changed slightly, and each hotel is very different. So if you've got a client that's specifically staying at a hotel, that you would check. It's quite hard as a government ruling to speak on behalf of all hotels. So I would either contact Travel Bulletin to get my contact details, and we can look at that offline and get you some more clarification. Okay, I'm going to ask one quick all-round sort of question, which covers a couple of people that they've asked this, including Cheryl Johnson has asked. Testing on the return, does the hotel or do the hotels have any involvement in that in terms of helping it take place? Yes, they do. So the concierge teams, each of the hotels can arrange that. You can pre-book it before the guests arrive, so we can get that arranged with our concierge team. You can also do it in property or on property as well. So there's many options to get that booked, but the team will help you as an agent, but also help the guests in-house. Fantastic. Okay, awesome. That was great. Thank you ever so much for your presentation. Thank you for answering all those questions. There are a couple that we haven't got to, mostly about agents asking about their own rates, but I think that's mostly that you've dealt with in terms of if they do the training course, that'll enable them to get involved in terms of taking advantage of your generosity. So thank you again for that, Nicola. Please share with us what you are able to in terms of your competition prize, and then give us the question. Perfect. So it's for a bottle of champagne, and the question is, how many restaurants are on the half-board dine-around program in Dubai? Okay, so just quick recap: bottle of champagne, another bottle of champagne. Everyone's keen on giving away champagne. How many restaurants are there on the half-board dine-around program in Dubai? Right, that was great, Nicola. Thank you ever so much for that. If you wouldn't mind, we'll see you again at the end. If you wouldn't mind muting and turning off your camera. It's now time to meet today's third presenter. This is Marta from the UK representative for Visit Formentera. Marta, you look as though you've got lots of I don't know what it is behind you. Have you got something? Have you got lots of notes written on the wall, or is it a calendar or something like that? It's a painting. I'm so sorry. It's like no, don't say sorry. That I'm not in the beautiful city from Fermentera. I'm in London, but I have just returned from the Balearic Islands, which, as you can see, I still a bit tan. Absolutely. Well, I've just been putting makeup on, so that's my excuse. But I'm glad you have. You can tell us more about it, please. Without further ado, share your screen, and I'll see you in 10 minutes or so. Fantastic. Thank you, Simon. I assume that you can all see my screen. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Simon said I'm Marta. I'm very lucky to be Formentera's representative in the UK market and explain you more about this island today. So quickly, first of all, the island of Formentera is located in the Mediterranean Sea. It's part of the Balearic Islands archipelago together with Mallorca, Menorca, and Ibiza. There are just 2 nautical miles between Formentera and Ibiza, so the islands are quite close. One thing that is really important to consider when we are thinking about a luxury escape is the private and the exclusivity of the destination. And Formentera doesn't have an airport, has to be reached via boat by the island of Ibiza. That makes the island much more exclusive, and it has kind of a chill out vibes. To go to Formentera, there are several companies, shipping companies that make crossings every day of the week. They vary in terms of the frequencies, but during the summer season, you can have ferries every hour that go from Ibiza to La Sabina. That is the only port of Formentera and the only way to go in and go out. And basically, the crossing only takes about
30 minutes. There are companies that Balearia, Transmediterranea, Transmapi, that say that the tickets online on the website. Travel agents, you can also buy the tickets for the ferry through Beds Online as well. And these tickets can be booked in advance or can be booked quite last minute in the port of Ibiza. There are lots of visitors that go to Ibiza that then they decide to spend one-day trip to Formentera and get to know what's this island. So there's the opportunity to buy the tickets there, and you have a guaranteed seat that you're going to make it to Formentera and return with the last ferry of the day. But the overnight stays in Formentera have increased significantly over the last years as more Brits have been discovering this little paradise. Because from the moment that your guests will disembark on Formentera, what they are going to feel is a characteristic sense of calm, and they are going to feel immediately captivated by its people, but the unique atmosphere and its crystal clear turquoise waters that I'm going to show you a bit later. Quickly, I just wanted to show you this map of the island when we highlighted here the port of Formentera and the main towns. But the important thing that you need to take from this presentation is that it's a very tiny island. It's just 20 kilometers by land from west to east, but it has 69 kilometers of coastline. That means that there are many secluded beaches and coves to explore, which is really, really beautiful. I'm going to talk a bit later about the traditional villages of Formentera, so yeah, you're going to get more insights. Getting around Formentera, it's quite easy. I have already explained you how to get there from Ibiza. Once you're there in the island, there are 3 companies that offer electric vehicles, Europcar, Cultra, and esformentera.com. These 3 companies offer electric vehicles because Formentera has a strong commitment with sustainability and sustainable mobility. So we encourage the companies to try to be as much as sustainable as possible, have green credentials in order to operate in the island. There's also the possibility to take a taxi, as there are different stops in the port of Formentera or in the towns to move around the island. There are regular bus lines, but also it's quite interesting that Formentera is very accessible and flat. So we have seen a lot of people that demand from the UK to information about how to get around Formentera with an electric bike and discover the island that way. Another thing that is interesting in this, that there are some guests that they prefer to discover the island by boat, as there are so many beautiful beaches. So I have included in this presentation a couple of websites of relevant yachting and boat companies in Formentera for you to consider later, that are also listed in our website. This is what you're gonna find, basically, beautiful white sand beaches in Formentera. Formentera has a mild climate that gives rise to a Mediterranean vegetation that combines sand dunes with wide forests of pine and conifers, giving the island a lot of personality. So get ready to see these white sandy beaches and coves around the coastline. And one of the things that it's really important to mention here is that your clients are going to be captivated by Formentera's waters. It's really a very romantic place in the world because of the clarity, and turquoise tones can evoke to the Caribbean, and you're just like 2 hours flight from the UK. The reason why Formentera has these beautiful blue waters is because it has one of the world's most valuable natural treasures, that it's the Posidonia oceanica. This is an underwater meadow protected by the UNESCO that it's crucial for the marine ecosystem. It's a plant that produces oxygen that sustains of the fish, the sponges, algae, and basically it's what makes the marine wildlife alive and makes unique the water of Posidonia. So not only us, the tourist board, try to protect the Posidonia, there are many hoteliers in Formentera that support the initiative Save Posidonia and raises funds toward the conservation and regeneration of the sea meadows, as we all want to protect Formentera as it is right now. North of the island, there's a private islet called Ces Palmado. that tourists can go there from a short trip boat from the port of La Sabina and Formentera. It's a very beautiful, unique location, wild and unspoiled, that you usually go there to do snorkeling and diving and basically explore the birds that are in the area of Formentera. So it's quite unique and special, and that's why I wanted to mention it to you today, because it's usually where the locals go, and it's good always to keep tips where the locals go. I mentioned it's a tiny island, but it has a great variety of luxury accommodation options. There are more than 150 accommodation options in Formentera, from small hostels to villas to apartments, hotels, rural agrotourisms. Here I have highlighted some of the ones that are most popular amongst the UK travelers. We have exciting news this year, Casa Pacha Formentera, that is a new, totally different concept from the Pacha group, has opened in the island. It's just 14 rooms, hotel, all suites, beachfront, very small and unique, with strong sustainability creds, and a very nice beach club that has just opened. Another one is the Gecko Hotel and Beach Club, a very popular hotel, Casa Tres Formentera, Canasha, and then the only one 5-star hotel with this beachfront concept resort, that is a 5-flower hotel and a spa. One of the things that I would like to mention here is that the season in Formentera starts in April and usually ends in October. We believe that this year we're going to be able to extend it to November, but it's really important that if you want to sell this product, take a look month in advance. Even if there are 150 accommodations, there's a lot of demand for Formentera, and usually people need to book their holidays month in advance to guarantee nice restaurants and nice accommodation. So if you're starting to plan honeymoons for your clients, please consider that. Here you can have an idea of what's the life in Formentera when visitors go there. Lots of chiringuitos and beach clubs where you can have nice wine, nice food next to the sea, chill music, like an authentic paradise. And also, we have been trying to give visibility to our local cuisine, the traditional cuisine in Formentera, with the original products. So most of the restaurants in Formentera have incorporated recipes from 200 years ago or 300 years ago in order to preserve the gastronomy and show visitors the quality food of Formentera. There's one thing that I think it's important to mention, that even if the island has become popular for its beaches and the crystal clear waters, if you go a bit off the beaten track, you can also find small picturesque villages, lighthouses, towers, windmills, lakes, and saltworks. The purest sense of the Mediterranean, really. So recommend your clients to spend some time in these beautiful fishing villages and historic towns of Formentera to get to know the locals and learn more about the culture. The island is also very famous for its hippie chic artisan markets, because there was, in the 60s, there was a huge movement about the hippies in Formentera, and they have tried to maintain that essence in the island. So I would really recommend to visit the markets, buy some artisan souvenirs in order to get some memories of the island. So that's basically all from me. I wanted to include here our website, where we have a dedicated section in planning that can help you to build an itinerary to Formentera, brochures, guides, listings, contacts from the hoteliers, contacts from snorkeling companies, the ferries, and basically all the information necessary in order to create an exceptional experience in Formentera. Thank you.
Well, Marta, that was brilliant. You win the prize for being the most on time so far. So well done you. And that was great. I've got some questions for you, and I've got some last minute one coming in. Everyone is obsessed with seems to be looking at booking later this year. So I know that you said that the properties are or the season really runs to the end of October, but hopefully a little bit later this year. I've got Sheila Stamp and Karen Fulioni asking, what are the temperatures sort of expected to be like in November then?
Yeah, in November, we don't expect rains in Formentera. What we spend is a mild autumn. Usually temperatures vary from the 24 degrees during the day to the 16 at nights. So it's not a winter sun destination, but they are going to be enjoying a good time there.
No, I think you see, I personally think that's a lovely temperature. 24 degrees is wonderful. That's like the hottest it gets here. But well, maybe not. Anyway, I've also got Julie who asks, and again, I missed this, so it may just be that we weren't listening closely enough. Apologies. But any of the properties that you mentioned in terms of accommodation, are any of them all-inclusive, or do they offer half board, or what sort of accommodation packages do they tend to work with?
Yeah, I have mentioned the Five Flowers Hotel and Spa, that it's the only big resort in the island. In that hotel, they can have packages for half board or all-inclusive packages, as well as the Gecko Hotel and Beach Club, that it's very popular amongst British travelers.
Okay, and the other ones tend to be bed and breakfast, or?
Exactly,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to trying to get something else in as well. Cheryl Johnson asks, she's got a customer who's looking to do a twin center with Ibiza next year.
Mm-hmm.
How many, obviously not too many, how many nights would you recommend on Formentera as part of that twin center? I
would recommend 3 nights.
Okay.
Yeah, minimum 3 nights combined with Ibiza, yes.
Okay, and I know one of the things that you will, you mention yourself in terms of getting across from Ibiza in terms of the ferry service. Is that sort of thing bookable from here?
Yes, exactly. You can book it here in advance. That's not direct with the websites of the main shipping companies that are listed in our website, or via Beds Online. They can also buy it for you. Yeah. Okay.
One of the things I want to get across to everyone is that all of the wonderful suppliers we have today will receive your details. So you'll be following up with them. They'll be following up with you. So if you have any further questions, please don't panic. You're going to get in touch with them. They'll get in touch with you. Right. Okay. If I can do now, thank you very much for that. Please, can you share with us your competition prize and question? Marta and agents, get your pens and pads and paper ready.
Perfect. So our competition prize is going to be a £50 gift voucher for Brindisa, which is a lovely Spanish deli. So the winner can be able to buy some Spanish wine or jamón or cheese, and then have a Spanish night at home, let's say. And my question is, what is the name of the UNESCO protected seagrass that surrounds Formentera and helps create the sparkling turquoise waters and unique marine biodiversity?
Fantastic. Okay, I'm glad you had to say that and not me. So thank you very much for that, Marta. That was fantastic. Really inspired lots of people to look outside of the sort of the larger Balearic Islands, certainly, and plan something for their clients in terms of Formentera. So thank you for that. We'll see you again in about 15 minutes at the end of the webinar.
Thank you, Simon. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, so now it's time to welcome back today's final presenter, Courtney Robinson, the marketing representative of the UK and Europe for the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands. Courtney, are you with us?
I am with you guys.
Good. I'm not gonna hold you up any longer. Please share your screen and I will see you again in 10 minutes or so.
Okay, perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. The Turks and Caicos Islands, we are an ideal destination for luxury vacations. We are situated some 535 miles southeast of Miami, Florida. We are in the last group of islands of the Bahama Island chain. We are just above Haiti and the Dominican Republic. We're comprised of 2 groups of islands, the Turks Bank and the Caicos Bank. The islands are separated by a 22-mile wide passage that drops down to about 7,000 feet, which is 2,300 meters deep. And the islands cover a circumference of about 250 square miles in total. Some quick facts. We are about 45,000 full-time residents, speak English. We use the American dollar. We are about 5 hours behind the UK. Our electricity is suitable for American appliances. However, a surger can be used. And our mean temperature throughout the year is around 26 to 27 degrees Celsius. Getting there is quite easy. British Airways travel to the destination twice weekly, currently on a Tuesday and a Thursday, leaving Gatwick at around 10 o'clock in the morning, arriving into Providenciales at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Alternatively, your clients can travel to the destination via US gateways such as New York, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Orlando, or Canada, Toronto, Montreal, or in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Dom Rep, Antigua, Cuba, or St. Lucia. These are the principal airlines that connect your clients with the destination. We have two local Turks Island-based carriers, Inter-Caribbean Airways and Caicos Express, that connect the Turks and Caicos to the wider Caribbean diaspora, the Caribbean islands that I mentioned earlier. There's also connectivity throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands via planes, but there's also ferry services between Providenciales, North and Middle Caicos, and South Caicos. We have a cruise center on Grantor called the Grantor Cruise Port. The ships tend to dock at around 6 or 7 in the morning, leaving the port at around 7 o'clock at the latest at night. Our cruising is entirely separate from our luxury product of Providenciales. I'll talk more about that later. We have two private airports on Providenciales. One is the Provo Air Center and the Blue Heron Aviation Facility. So getting into Turks and Caicos Islands, every guest into the Turks and Caicos must be TCI assured. To apply for it, you must log on to our website. All travelers, as of yesterday, the 1st September, 16 years or older, must be fully vaccinated. You must provide proof of their vaccination, whether it be Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, or AstraZeneca. And you can show proof of that in the UK using your NHS pass. To enter, you need a COVID test, whether it be a COVID PCR test or an antigen test. Antigen tests tend to be a lot more affordable. Travelers must also have medical or travel insurance. Once you've had all that you're covered, you apply to our website and you get a certification within at least an hour or so. When you're flying to the Turks and Caicos, you arrive into Providenciales, home to the world's best beach, Grace Bay Beach. Providenciales is the gateway island. There you can find local cuisine, fine dining, craft markets, casinos. There's also the Provo Golf Club, which has an 18-hole golf course. There are two world-class marinas on Provo. The main picture is the Turtle Cove Marina, and the inset image is the Blue Haven Marina, where the sewer rich tend to dock their yachts. Provo is also connected to Little Water Key. It's a nature reserve island, and it's home to the native rock iguana. Now, our family islands. Grantor is the capital and seat of government. It's a 25-minute flight from Providenciales there. On this street is called Duke Street. There are no luxury per se properties on Grantor. However, there are some high-end boutique guest houses and hotels on this island. Points of interest on Grantor would be the Grantor Lighthouse that came from Somerset. You have the National Museum that holds a lot of our cultural artifacts. The post office that has them featuring the royal family. Now, once a year between the months of December and the end of March, we have the humpback whale migration period. So whether you're swimming, snorkeling, diving, or standing along the shoreline, you can see the humpback whales as they migrate up north. Now, Salkey is also on the Turks Bank. Salkey is a tiny 2.5 square mile island. It has been deemed the World Heritage Site by UNESCO some 8 years ago. Salt was first farmed here in the White House in Salkey. So when you have a dash of salt with your food, think of Turks and Caicos because that's where salt originated. South Caicos is home to the country's longest seafaring festival, the Regatta, and it is where the Queen last visited us in 1968. So if your clients are interested in horticulture, bird watching, marine biology, swimming, snorkeling, or diving, this is an ideal island for them. There's one 5-star property there that's called Sail Rock that has connectivity with the Hyatt Group, so your clients can use their points there. There's a 4-star property called the East Bay Resort as well. Now, North Caicos and Middle Caicos are considered our ecotourism islands. So if your clients are interested in horticulture, bird watching, marine biology, anything outdoorsy, these are the islands for them. These two islands are connected by the Middle and North Cays Causeway, which stretches about 1 mile long. And the islands are only about a 20-minute ferry ride from Providenciales. On North Caicos, you can visit Pumpkin Bluff National Pond Reserve. It's a Ramsar site that has hundreds of pink flamingos. You can also visit the Wade's Grain Lawyers Plantation. To date, we still use the pimento plant to make a lot of our straw work from. On the island of Middle Caicos is the Kongbar Caves. The Turks and Caicos Islands have the largest underground network of caves in the entire Turks and Caicos and the Bahama Island archipelago. Here at Mujin Harbor, it has the most dramatic coastline in our country, which is a mixture of iron shore and white sandy beaches. We have once a year the Valentine's Day Cup, where many sailboat enthusiasts from around the world sail their mini sailboat in Lorimer Sound. Our private island destinations. Ambergris Key is an all-inclusive luxury private island destination. Over here, you have eight beachfront villas. And this here is the runway. It has the largest, Ambergris Key has the largest privately held runway in the entire Caribbean. So whether your clients are flying privately anywhere in the world, they can land there. However, your clients are flying commercially into Providenciales, Ambergris Key has their own plane to connect you with the destination island. Then you have Parakeet. Parakeet is a luxury private island that's a part of the Como brand. So when your clients are coming in, they can either stay in the hotel, one of these beach bedroom villas, or the houses in a rental pool belonging to Bruce Willis, Christy Brinkley, or Donna Karen. There's also the Como Shambhala Spa. Pine Key is what we call a luxury private island, but it's also an affordable one. It has these 8 one-bedroom beachfront villas. And the unique thing is only about 15 minutes ferry ride from Providenciales as well. So the ideal thing about these private islands are that there's no cars allowed and there are no pets allowed. You are given a buggy or a bike to get around the island. The Turks and Caicos Islands, we sit on the 3rd largest barrier reef in the entire world, home to about 35 species of coral, 500 species of fish recorded. Every type of aqua activity takes place in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We have over 100 restaurants and bars in countries. Every type of cuisine is in Turks and Caicos Islands, and every type of dietary concern is acknowledged also. No trip to the Turks and Caicos is complete without visiting the Conch Shack, which is in Blue Hills on the island of Providenciales. Now, getting married, we're an ideal weddings destination. When you come to the Turks and Caicos Islands, when you fly in, you must be there for 2 calendar days. When you cruise in, there's a special license so you can get married the same day. Importantly, your marriage license is registered in Turks and Caicos Islands and it cannot be transferred to your country of origin. Once you get married, you have to ensure that your officiant sends you a copy of that license. You can get married on a hilltop on South Caicos Island, of course, as I mentioned earlier, at the cruise center or at one of our sounds, Grace Bay at night, Grace Bay at day. We're also an ideal honeymoon destination. So we're an ideal luxury weddings and honeymoon destination. We're an inclusive destination. We're a twin center destination as well. So let me tell you about a few luxury properties. We have the Amanya Resort, a part of the Amman Group. We have the Shore Club. We have the Grace Bay Club, where all the suites have oceanfront views on Grace Bay Beach. And this here is the Infinity Royal Cocktail Bar. It's the longest cocktail bar in the Caribbean, measuring about 100 feet long. Then you have the Waimera Resort and Villas. These villas are separate from their hotel stop on the Grace Bay Beach side of the island. Then you have Beach House Turks and Caicos. It is an all-inclusive luxury hotel for couples only. Then you have, of course, Beaches Turks and Caicos. And then the new kid on the block is the Ritz-Carlton Turks and Caicos, which is now the largest luxury property and largest property in Turks and Caicos Islands. So for any vacation, primarily luxury vacations, Turks and Caicos Islands were an ideal luxury vacation destination. We are one country, 8 destination islands, 3 private island destinations, 365 days of sunshine throughout the year. And myself, the United Kingdom, will tell you all about it. So if you have any questions or any assistance you need on building your itinerary, I am here. in real time, I can assist you. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Fantastic, Corny. Yes, thank you. If you can unshare your screen, I will get to you. That was great. We've run through. I feel as though I know the Turks and Caicos now. I think I've recently had 3 introductions with you in terms of what's going on out there and what the properties are. So I feel as though I know it well. I've got some questions for you. So I don't know the answer to this, but I know that you describe some of these beach villas as affordable. That's a bit of a loose term, isn't it? Mike asks, what does that mean compared to which ones? Christie Brinkley's, is that Christie Brinkley's is not affordable, or how do they differ?
Well, Christie Brinkley has a 2-bedroom villa. So you would pay more because, of course, the name, and she stays there when she goes there. So if you happen to be staying in her villa, you would see her pictures, her memorabilia will be still there. So that will be a bit more expensive. Now, the affordable villas will be more to be on Pine Key, which is a private island, as well as where with Christie Brinkley's property is on Parakeet. So Parakeet is a part of the Como brand, so it is more high end, it's more expensive. But Pine Key is just as beautiful. The rooms are kind of similar in design and taste levels, but it's a bit more affordable. So for Pine Key, you're looking at off-season 500 a night, in season but 1,500 to 2,000 a night per person.
Okay,
US dollars.
That's US dollars. That's US dollars.
That's cheap, Simon. You and the family can take that.
I don't doubt it. Yes, I'd be I'd have a new mortgage to deal with, but yes, I certainly could. If there is, I've got Alison asks as well, and again, we're on a luxury webinar, so we should know these things. This is in terms of the private plane option. Is it something you to go from Providenciales to whichever where the runway is? I can't remember which key it's on now. But are you renting a place on the plane, or do you have to rent the whole plane? How does it work?
Well, Ambergris Key, that's part of the Turks and Caicos Island Sporting Collection. So that's a part of your package. So if you're coming in private, if you're coming in on a commercial plane, that's a part of that's built into your whole holiday. So for the most part, you go into Ambergris Key, you would be there for like 10 to 14 days. There's nothing going on that island at all. It's just you and your partner, whomever you're with there. So that's built in itself. And it's only about a 30 minutes plane ride. And typically, if you were to fly commercial, which there's no commercial flights on that island, but from Providenciales to an island that's next door, that is about 150 US dollars. So for the most part, you're looking at as a private plane. So for the most part, I think from when I last spoke to the gentleman over a year ago about the flights, you're looking at $250 per person.
Okay, which again is small change. Yeah, no, it's small change. I'm going to ask something. One thing I've got from Jane here asks, you've obviously got a cruise center, so you must have a lot of people, whether it be via the American cruise lines or whoever it is, stopping, I'm guessing, for the day. Does that have an impact where it is?
Not really. We have not only American cruise lines, we have British and European cruise lines stuff there as well. When I traveled around Europe and doing shows and stuff, I mean, lots of travelers who ships to stock in. And our cruise center should open next month, and it's good for us that for that island, Grantor, where I'm from, it gives us travelers. The only difficult thing with the cruise center is that we typically do not get overnight stays. So they come in, they go, and cruises tend to never return to the destination again, right, any country, because they are there for cruising for them for the most part. But it's great that for when they come in, they either staying at the Margaritaville, which is at the Grantor Cruise Center, or they go into town because it's easy. So for the most part, they don't need to hire a taxi driver to get around the island. Some people hire buggies, or they hire bicycles, or simply they just walk to get around the island themselves. So it's easy to move around. And you really can't get lost on Grantor There's only one straight road.
I can see where you got your sense of direction from now, Courtney. So one thing, the final question I'm going to ask you, again, this is from Mike again, and this is, you're getting around the islands. Obviously, I know that you showed some of the islands have got causeways going in between them. You've got obviously numerous opportunities to fly short hops between places as well. But is it very easy? Are there buses, things like that get around on the main islands?
We do have jitney services, but it's not licensed, so you would take your life in your hands, so I wouldn't advise that. But taxis are somewhat affordable, like $20 per person. But it's very affordable to hire say it's two people. Say that for myself, when I travel to Turks and Caicos, and on my own business, I would get the cheapest affordable car, which is like 50 US a day, and that's very affordable for me. Now, even as a family of four, that's affordable. But taxis can add up price. But if not taxi, if not a car, you can always vans are affordable as well, or motorbikes. It's quite safe to get around the islands. Or if you're living in the Grace Bay area, you can just hire a bicycle or simply walk. But traveling between the islands themselves, between Provo and South Caicos and Grantor, you need plane. And for some other islands, you primarily would need ferry service, which is not affordable. But if you're staying on Provo proper and you want to get around the islands, I would say the best bet is to just hire an affordable car. If not, just get a bicycle. If you're not going to be out often, a bicycle. If not, a moped is easier.
Bicycle sounds the eco way to go. That's good.
There you go.
Okay, right. Thank you ever so much for that. We really appreciate that, Courtney. Thank you for all your running through everything, giving us your presentation and telling us what is going on in terms of that. So I've got, thank you that's the end of that Q&A session. Thank you so much for that. We've got one final prize to win today, and that is a Travel Bulletin prize of a £30 Amazon voucher. And our question is, in which two cities will our next live luxury showcase events take place? So we've got a couple of live showcases which are taking place on Monday the 27th and Tuesday the 28th of September. But in which two cities are they? If you've still not registered for any of our events coming up, please go to our website. Our sign up page it's planned out in terms of the sort of places that we're visiting. So it isn't done by date order. So do scroll down and find where you are in terms of the country and see when we're coming to you. So if you still can make our event, our North America event on Monday in Liverpool, come and see us. Register now and we'll see you on Monday night. We've got an event in Cambridge on the 14th, which is an escorted touring event. We've got a wonderful event on in Oxford the day after on the 15th, which is a cruise event. And then we've got the 27th and the 28th of September, but where are they? So we've now come to the end of our Travel Bulletin webcast. As always, if you need a recap on any of the training, you'll be able to watch the recorded version from tomorrow morning on our website, also via our Facebook page and on YouTube. I'm sure you'll agree you've been treated to some brilliant training today. So let's please give a huge thanks to our partners, Karen, Nicola, Marta, and Courtney. Thank you, everyone. Please rejoin me now. If you can do, I just would like you, because I think webinars end a bit weirdly anyway, because they are, well, it's just odd, because you don't get to shake anyone's hand or anything. So if you can give a big wave to everyone, and thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you, if not live, then next time via the screen. Thank you ever so much, everyone.
Bye, thanks.